Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling perfectly normal, only to wonder why so many people your age never make it past breakfast the next day? It is a haunting question, one that millions of Americans quietly carry without ever saying out loud. And yet it might be the single most important question of your life. Because the truth is this: the early morning hours are the most dangerous time for your heart, and most people never see the warning signs until it is too late. Every year in the United States, thousands of seniors suffer a sudden heart attack between sunrise and mid-morning, and many of them felt fine the night before. That is the part no one expects, and it is the part that keeps me awake even after 4 decades of cardiology. My name is Dr. Richard Hale, and after caring for countless patients across this country, I can tell you with absolute certainty that most heart attacks do not come out of nowhere. They build quietly, silently through small daily habits that seem harmless on the surface, but push your heart closer to the edge day after day. It is a pattern so subtle that even smart, active, responsible people miss it. And when the damage finally appears, it arrives like a thief in the morning. That is why I need you to stay with me, because there is hope, and it is stronger than you think. In the next few minutes, I will show you 8 simple habits that can protect your heart more powerfully than most people realize. Habits that cost nothing, require no medication, and can be started tomorrow morning before your coffee. And as you listen, you might recognize pieces of your own life woven into these stories, because the warning signs are often quiet, but the solutions are within reach, and they begin with understanding what your heart has been trying to tell you all along. The first habit may feel almost too simple to matter, yet it holds the power to shift the entire rhythm of your morning heart function. When you wake up after 7 or 8 hours of sleep, your body's not refreshed the way most people imagine. It is mildly dehydrated, your blood is thicker than you realize, and your heart has to push that heavier blood through your arteries at the exact moment your cardiovascular system is naturally under the most stress. I have seen this pattern too many times in my clinic, and one patient in particular still stays with me. He was 72, active, cheerful, and proud of never missing his morning toothbrush routine. One morning, only minutes after stepping into his bathroom, he collapsed from a sudden cardiac event. His tests later showed severe morning dehydration, the silent trigger he never knew was building inside him. Science supports what many seniors overlook. Studies show that most heart attacks in older adults happen between 6 and 11 in the morning, the window when blood concentration is at its highest and circulation is at its slowest. A simple 8 to 12 ounces of room temperature water can thin the blood just enough to reduce strain on the heart, support oxygen flow, and help stabilize early morning pressure spikes. And if you add a slice of lemon, you support gentle digestion without shocking your system the way ice cold water can. So tomorrow morning, before you check your phone, before you sip your coffee, give your heart the hydration it has been quietly waiting for overnight. But only knowing this is not enough, because there is another morning habit that activates your heart in a completely different way, and most people never think to do it. Hydration gives your heart its first lifeline of the day, but your body still needs a signal that it is fully awake, fully engaged, and ready to move blood with ease. That is where the second habit becomes a quiet powerhouse. A simple morning walk, even 10 to 20 minutes, can change the entire direction of your cardiovascular health. I learned this years ago from a patient named Margaret, a 74-year-old woman who came to me exhausted, frustrated, and convinced her blood pressure medication had stopped working. She was not doing anything wrong. She simply lacked a morning rhythm that told her heart it was safe to relax. When she started walking around her block each morning, something remarkable happened. Within 3 weeks, her blood pressure steadied, her sleep deepened, and she told me she finally felt like herself again. Science explains why this shift is so powerful. A morning walk activates nitric oxide, a natural compound your body makes that relaxes blood vessels, improves circulation, and reduces early morning arterial stiffness. At the same time, exposure to morning sunlight boosts vitamin D production, which plays a critical role in heart muscle function and immune balance. These are not small benefits. Research shows that even light walking can lower blood pressure, reduce inflammation, and improve oxygen flow in ways medication alone cannot match. As you walk, your breathing deepens, your muscles open, and your heart finds a steadier rhythm than it had just moments earlier. And if you are listening right now and thinking you are too tired for this, Remember that you only need to start with a few minutes. Consistency matters more than distance, and motion is what wakes the heart from its overnight strain. But only knowing this is not enough, because there is another daily habit that strengthens your heart from the inside out, and most people never realize how powerful it truly is. Once your body has been gently awakened by movement, your heart still needs another kind of support, one that comes not from motion, but from nourishment. And this next habit is one of the most underestimated forms of heart protection I have ever seen. A single handful of nuts or seeds, just 1 ounce a day, can deliver a surprisingly powerful impact on your cardiovascular health. I once treated a patient named James, a 69-year-old man who struggled with high triglycerides and constant midday fatigue. He believed he needed a stricter diet or stronger medication, but the truth was far simpler. He replaced his sugary morning muffin with raw almonds and a spoonful of chia seeds mixed into his yogurt. Within 6 weeks, his numbers shifted and his energy returned in a way he had not felt in years. Science backs up what James experienced. Nuts like walnuts, almonds, chia, and flax are packed with omega-3 fatty acids that help prevent dangerous blood clots and support smoother heartbeat patterns. They are also rich in magnesium and potassium minerals essential for keeping arteries relaxed and blood pressure stable. Even more compelling research shows that people who consume small amounts of nuts regularly have lower inflammation and better cholesterol profiles, two critical markers for heart disease risk. The beauty of this habit is its simplicity. You do not need fancy supplements or expensive health trends. You only need one clean handful of unsalted, uncoated nuts or seeds each morning or midday. It is a tiny shift with a massive ripple effect on circulation energy and long-term heart resilience. But only knowing this is not enough, because there is another habit that strengthens your heart in a way most people never consider, and it all starts with the way you breathe. If nourishment strengthens your heart from within, then this next habit supports it in a way most people never expect, because it requires no food, no movement, and no equipment. It only asks you to breathe. For more than 40 years in cardiology, I have seen seniors underestimate the power of intentional breathing, and yet its impact on the heart is undeniable. Many older adults breathe in short, shallow bursts throughout the day, especially when they feel stressed, rushed, or overwhelmed. What they do not realize is that this kind of breathing keeps the body stuck in a low-level fight-or-flight mode, raising cortisol, tightening blood vessels, and forcing the heart to work harder than it should. A patient of mine named Ellen, a 70-year-old retired librarian, once told me she hadn't felt truly calm in more than a decade. Instead of adding another pill, I gave her a breathing ritual. Every morning before breakfast, she practiced the 4-4-6 method. 4 seconds in 4 seconds, hold 6 seconds out. Within 2 weeks, her sleep deepened, her digestion improved, and the heaviness in her chest she thought was aging slowly disappeared. Science shows why. Slow, intentional breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering blood pressure, balancing heart rate, and improving oxygen flow. Studies also confirm that just 5 minutes of paced breathing each morning can reduce stress markers and help stabilize cardiovascular function throughout the day. It is one of the simplest, most effective tools seniors have, and yet very few practice it consistently. So tomorrow morning, sit comfortably, close your eyes, and let your breath guide your heart back into its natural rhythm. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next habit might be the one most seniors overlook, and it directly determines how well your heart recovers every night. After calming your system through intentional breathing, your heart needs something even deeper, something no diet or exercise routine can replace. It needs predictable restorative sleep. Sleep is not downtime. It is not wasted hours. For your heart, sleep is the repair shift the moment your blood pressure naturally dips. Your heartbeat slows, and your body performs critical overnight maintenance. I once worked with a patient named Henry, a 73-year-old man, who came to me confused about why he felt so drained every morning. His diet was solid, his walking routine was consistent, and his medication schedule was perfect. Yet his blood pressure kept climbing, and he woke up each day with headaches he could not explain. The root cause was not his lifestyle, it was his sleep rhythm. He went to bed at different hours, every night fell asleep with the television glowing in the background, and often napped late in the afternoon. When we rebuilt his sleep routine and set a consistent bedtime of 10:30, eliminated screens after 9, and kept his room cool and dark, His blood pressure stabilized within weeks, and the fog he lived with for years finally lifted. Science confirms what Henry experienced. Studies show that irregular sleep patterns increase nighttime cortisol, disrupt circadian rhythm, and place the heart under unnecessary strain. In contrast, consistent sleep schedules support healthier blood pressure, steadier heart rate, and better hormonal balance. Seniors who sleep 7 to 8 uninterrupted hours per night experience fewer cardiac events and better morning stability. So tonight, treat your bedtime like medicine and protect it with intention, because deep rest is one of the greatest gifts you can give your heart. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next habit exposes a hidden danger most seniors never suspect, and it silently affects your heart every day. Restorative sleep repairs your heart overnight, but once the day begins, there is a hidden threat that silently works against everything you accomplished while you were asleep. It is not sugar, salt, or stress. It is sitting. For many seniors, prolonged sitting has quietly become one of the most underestimated dangers to heart health. Hours on the couch, long stretches in front of the television, or afternoons spent scrolling on a phone may feel harmless, but physiologically, the heart experiences something very different. When you sit for too long, blood circulation slows, muscles stop pumping blood efficiently, and blood begins to pool in the lower body. This leads to stiffness in the arteries, higher inflammation, and a greater risk of clots. I remember a patient named Carol, a 68-year-old woman who walked every morning, ate well, and never missed her medication. Yet she developed a painful blood clot in her leg that shocked her entire family. The cause was not her diet. It was the 5-hour TV marathons she watched each afternoon without ever standing up. Research in the United States continues to show how dangerous immobility can be. Studies confirm that sitting for more than 30 minutes at a time significantly increases clot risk and elevates markers of inflammation, especially in older adults. The solution is surprisingly simple. Stand up every 30 minutes, stretch your arms, and walk for 2 minutes around your home. You do not need intense exercise. You only need gentle movement to reactivate circulation and release the pressure that builds silently through stillness. So today, make your body a promise that no half hour will pass without a moment of movement, because those small breaks protect your heart more than you can feel in the moment. But only knowing this is not enough, because the next habit transforms the very first message you send your heart each morning, and it can change the stability of your entire day. After breaking the danger of prolonged sitting, there is another moment in your day that carries far more weight than most people realize. It is the first meal you choose to put into your body. Breakfast is not just food. It is a signal, a message that tells your heart and your metabolism how the rest of the day will unfold. Many seniors skip breakfast entirely or grab something fast and sugary because it feels convenient, but convenience has a cost. When you start your morning with nothing or with processed carbs, your blood sugar spikes sharply and then crashes, creating inflammation and uneven energy that place extra strain on the heart. I remember a 71-year-old patient who believed skipping breakfast would help her lose weight. Instead, she felt exhausted, her blood pressure climbed, and she found herself chasing cravings all morning. When she switched to a heart-smart breakfast of oatmeal topped with blueberries, chia seeds, and a handful of almonds, everything changed. Her blood sugar stabilized, her cravings disappeared, and her medications began working more effectively. Science reinforces what I saw in her transformation. Studies show that seniors who eat a balanced breakfast, rich in fiber, healthy fats, and natural nutrients have steadier blood pressure, better cholesterol levels, and reduced inflammation throughout the day. Foods like whole grain oats, berries, avocado, on whole grain toast, or Greek yogurt with walnuts provide slow, steady energy instead of the blood sugar roller coaster caused by pastries, sweet cereals, and sugary coffee drinks. So tomorrow morning, give your heart fuel that supports it rather than sabotages it. Keep breakfast simple, natural, and consistent, because that first bite shapes your entire day more than you think. But only knowing this is not enough, because the final habit may be the most crucial of all, and it could reveal silent danger before it becomes a crisis. If breakfast sets the tone for your entire day, then this final habit acts as the compass that tells you exactly where your heart stands before the day begins. High blood pressure has earned its name as the silent killer, because it often gives no warning, no pain, no dizziness, no discomfort. Many seniors walk around believing they are perfectly fine, while inside their arteries a dangerous pressure is quietly rising, waiting for the right moment to strike. I once worked with a 66-year-old patient named Daniel, a healthy, active man who never imagined he could be at risk. He was lean, energetic, and walked several miles a day. But when I urged him to check his blood pressure at home each morning, he discovered readings in the 150s over 90s, numbers high enough to put him in real danger. That tiny 2-minute habit gave us the chance to intervene before anything catastrophic happened. Science confirms the importance of this simple ritual. Morning blood pressure tends to be higher due to hormonal shifts that occur after waking, making it the most important time to measure your numbers. Studies show that seniors who monitor their blood pressure consistently are able to detect risky patterns weeks or even months before symptoms appear. All it takes is a digital cuff, a quiet place to sit, and 5 minutes of stillness. Measure at the same time every morning, keep a small journal, and begin noticing how sleep, stress, sodium, or hydration influence your numbers. When you understand your blood pressure, you understand your heart's real-time story, a story that can guide your choices long before danger arrives. But only knowing this is not enough, because these habits together unlock something even more powerful, something that can reshape not just your mornings, but your entire future. When you look back at these 8 habits, you might realize that none of them require perfection, dramatic change, or expensive treatments. They simply ask you to show up for yourself in small but meaningful ways day after day. And I want you to hear this clearly. Your heart and your kidneys are far more resilient than you think. Even if you feel like you have neglected your health in the past, even if you are carrying fear, regret, or uncertainty, your body can still respond the moment you begin treating it with care and consistency. You are not too late, you are not too far gone, and you are not powerless. You have more influence over your future than you may have ever realized. If today's message resonated with you, I encourage you to save this video so you can return to these habits whenever you need guidance or motivation. And if you want to receive reliable science-based tips to protect your kidneys and your overall health, make sure you subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Every week, we share the latest medical insights, practical routines, and proven strategies that older adults across the United States are using to lower creatinine, strengthen their kidneys, and live with more confidence and energy. Staying informed is one of the greatest gifts you can give your future self. As we close, I want you to remember this one truth. Your health story is still being written, and you hold the pen. Every glass of water, every morning walk, every mindful breath, every healthy choice is a vote for the life you want to live. So be gentle with yourself and stay committed, and trust that small steps taken steadily can create extraordinary change. Your heart and your kidneys are listening, and they are ready to respond the moment you begin.